Marco Nunez, former Laker athletic therapist, Kobe's trainer, LeBron, Lonzo, you name it. And so it should be a really good one today. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. Glad
Good,
to be
good.
here.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But my first question is what made you get into athletic performance training?
Um, Interesting. So when I was in, I think high school, I was interested in going into sports medicine, kind of orthopedic physician type of thing. And then somehow I decided to change my major going into college, and it went into civil engineering. So I did that for about 2 years. Didn't really like it that much. I was going through the motions. And then one day I was attending a kind of on-campus leadership conference, and the keynote speaker was his name was Kai Kugler, and he was a head athletic therapist for the university I was attending. He spoke of what he did. I found that very interesting. I spoke with him afterwards. I shadowed him for about a week, and after that, it's like this is kind of what I want to do, type of thing. And ever since then, I've been pursuing kind of like the performance athletic training therapist area.
Hmm, okay, nice. So what exactly do you do with your players or your clients?
So yeah, so I guess the traditional role of the athletic trainer back then when I first started, if you watch sports, whether it's NBA, NFL, or anything of that sort, and you'll tend to see this during the game when a player gets hurt, the individuals that kind of run to attend to the athletes, 99% of them are going to be athletic trainers. You'll probably have a physician there alongside with them. Maybe you see like another person with them, they might be an assistant athletic trainer. So a lot of it has to do with injury management, injury assessment. Um, if you followed football last year with the Buffalo Bills, the athlete Hamlin, they went into cardiac arrest. That was an athletic trainer that was on there. Those are athletic trainers are the ones that applied the CPR. So athletic training primarily has to do with immediate care, injury assessment, and stuff like that. But it has evolved over the last couple of 20 years. We do rehab as well, type of thing. We do strength and conditioning as well. And it's gotten to the point now with all this new technology, it involves doing sports science management of the athlete. So at the end of the day, what I tell my athlete, and I call myself an athletic performance therapist, is because my job is to try to help you perform and get you back on the field, whether it's through nutrition, whether it's through strength and conditioning, whether it's through rehab, sometimes whether it's through psychology, kind of a little bit mental health, help the athlete, the mental health aspect. So my job at the end of the day is try to get you as an athlete or an individual, whether you're a weekend warrior, to get you perform to what you're trying to do, whether it's run a marathon, I want to run a 10K. Hey, I just want to participate in sports with my kids. That's all I want to do. Fine. That's what we got to do.
Wow, so you do all of it. So you even do this the psychological part as well too, or you would send them to a psychologist.
Correct. So here's the thing. I personally am not a sports psychologist, right? But when you work with athletes, there is the whole huge mental aspect of sports. You know, it's become pretty big, and I want to say it has become pretty big. It's come out to the light, so to speak. You know, it's always been there. The old traditional way of, hey, suck it up, deal with it, throw some dirt in it, and let's go, right? Some athletes are able to manage that. Some athletes are not able to manage it that way. So my aspect of it is sometimes there is a little bit of a psychological aspect that I have to kind of work with a player, whether it's kind of motivating the player, helping the player understand, hey, you know what, when it comes to, especially when it comes to an injury. So I'll give you a prime example. Athletes, when you go through an injury, there's a lot of negativity. There's a, hey, can I come back and play? Am I going to be able to be the same athlete that I was before?
Yeah.
We had an athlete, Larry Nance Jr. I don't know if you're familiar with Larry Nance.
Yeah.
Kid could jump out of the roof, right? He's like high up.
Yeah.
Well, when he joined us as a rookie, he had torn his ACL when he was at University of Wyoming, right? So he came out here. We were still kind of rehabbing. He was still clear to play, but he still has to do rehab. Well, there was one time when he was at practice, and he came and told me that he jumped really high, and he was up high, and this is like the highest he's gotten ever since before his injury. And he told me, it's like, when I was at the Marco, when I was up there, I had to kind of like stop and say, no, wait, I got to get down. I can't be this high. I can't be this high because my knee, right? So there's the kind of the psychological aspect of it and almost a
Wow.
reassurance. And there's plenty of times where, like at halftime, he would feel something in his knee. He's like, oh, is it my ACL? And he would run, at halftime, he would run into the training room. It's like, Marco, check my knee, check my knee. I'm like, hey, Larry, you're good, right? You're good. Trust me, we're going. So that kind of psychological
Wow.
aspect of it, kind of motivation. But no, if there's other issues, I would refer them to a psychologist, psychiatrist, sports psychologist. I'm not that type of area. But we kind of manage or assess, hey, does this athlete need a little more help or intervention to help them kind of get through their injury type of thing.